Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome. If you are here, just let me know that you can hear me and that you can see me. I know we've been so many months using these video teleconferencing. We've been using, conference systems like this and broadcasting live, but I still like to know that you can hear me and that you can see me. Okay, so yeah, starting soon, we have Rosanna. We have Connect Trend. Great to see you again. From Los Angeles. Hello from St. Louis. Loud and clear. I can heat and see well. I presume that's I can hear and see well. I know. Things are hotting up here because we have an amazing show today. And it is a little bit of a show, of course. Okay, so you can hear me. You can see me. Perfect. Now, as normal, if you want to ask any questions, just put them into the box and the live chat, and I will answer them as I go along. And if I look over to my left or to my right, I'm just monitoring to make sure that everything is actually working. Okay, thank you, Kathy. You can see and hear me perfectly. Clearwater County, Alberta, Canada. Welcome. Well, I am, of course, broadcasting live from, I would like to say sunny Barcelona, but it's not so sunny today. Winter has finally arrived and it's a little bit chilly, and that's why I have my little hoodie on here. But things are going to hotter for you guys today because I'm going to talk about the tools that you get as a paid member in PLR.me. Now, these tools are only available to paid members. So once you upgrade, if you're a free member, you actually get access to all of the tools I'm going to show you, but I'm going to show you just three today. Now, let's just do a quick recap for people who may be new here and watching me for the first time. PLR.me, well, we provide um, the I'm going to say the best content out there for coaches and people involved in the self-help market. And the beauty of PLR in general, it's a term which means private labor rights, is that you can take our content or any other PLR content, and you can actually make it your own. And that means that you can take the content and you can rewrite it, and you can actually just then publish it as your own content. And there's no need to come back and put a little sort of link back to us or to say this was originally sourced from PLR.me or anything like that. It is yours to use. And we work on a credit system. Now, if you're not already a member, we offer a free account where we give you 2 free credits per month. And what is a credit? Well, a credit is the currency that we use within PLR.me. And with your 2 free credits, you can download 2 items a month that are to the value of 2 credits. So if the item is 2 credits, you download one of them. If it's something like an article, you can download two of them, and you can use them any way that you wish. When you're a paid member, you get lots more credits, and you get access to our tools, which I'm going to talk about today. Um, so why would you use PLR? Well, PLR saves you time in the whole creation process. Because imagine if I asked you to write an article about goal setting, a great topic coming up now, of course, in January. Um, it might take you 2 or 3 hours to write an article about goal setting. But with PLR, what you can do is you can download an article from our library, and then you can just tweak it for your particular audience. So goal setting for high school teens, goal setting for university students, goal setting for executive managers. And it is a framework that you can use if you wish. I mean, you can use it as is, but or you can use it as a framework to just tweak so that your audience will actually have access to it. Um, so what other things can you do? Well, believe it or not, there's a large majority of our content is actually 1 or 2 credits in value. Now, obviously, if you wanted to write a new book about goal setting, how long is that going to take you? It's probably going to take you forever. I mean, I wouldn't do it probably myself. I wouldn't have the time or patience to do it. But you could download one of our goal setting ebooks and tweak that for your particular audience, and then you will be able to actually publish that. You could get it done in a weekend and have it ready to go rather than waiting months and months to actually try and and say, well, try and access your brain to write the actual content out. So let me just take a quick look at the comments. Let's have a look. Hello from Iowa, Massachusetts. Can we come and visit you in Barcelona? Absolutely, but I will not pay the airfare. I will not pay the accommodation. I may invite you to coffee, but that's as far as I go. Well, maybe I might invite you for something to eat as well. Okay, Gail says, can't hear you. What do I need to do? Just check your speakers just to see. Just started. Okay, so let's go over to PLR.me and you should be able to see my screen now. And what I want to do is I'm logged into my account and what I want to show you is the tools that we have here. So when you become a paid member, either a monthly or a yearly member, you will actually get access to all of these tools. So we have three types of tools. We have content marketing tools, we have WordPress tools, and we have productivity tools. So what we're going to look at today is the well, just three of the content marketing tools, and that is I'm not going to do them in order, but we're going to do Content Summarizer. We're going to look at Auto Slide Deck and one of my favorites, PDF Brander. And these tools are going to make your life so much easier because they do a lot of the things that you need. Um, so what you want to first do is you want to download a piece of content. Right? Now, I've actually done that. And I've downloaded a piece of content which is actually called Starting Your Coaching Business. And what I'm going to do is, I just have that on my other screen. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go in here to Content Summarizer. Now, as the name suggests, what Content Summarizer does is, can you guess what it does? Well, if you were thinking that it summarizes content, you are bang on the money because that's what it does. So what I can do is I can take an article here, and I'm just going to do one or two little changes to it here. But I take the article and I just want to get rid of these bulleted points because sometimes, well, I don't really like the bulleted points coming up. So I'm just going to get rid of these bulleted points. And then what the system is going to do is the system is going to summarize the content for you. Now, why would you want, or what could you do with summarized content? If you can just put it into the chat there of why you might want to summarize content and what you could do with that content. Any takers on that as to why you might actually summarize the content? I'll just give it 10 or 15 seconds just to see the answers that come in. Um, well, if you thought that the reason why you want to summarize content is to have an ad, for example, as the lecturer said, you're correct. You could summarize the content and just use a snippet of the article um, as the headline of an ad. You could use it in social media posts. Cindy says you could use it for SEO. Now, you could also use it for the likes of Twitter, for example. You know the way Twitter only has what is it, 160 characters. I think it's gone up since I last looked at it back in 2009. Now I have been on Twitter since then. But you could make little tweets, and then what you could do is you could say, if you want to read more about this article, just follow the link to my website. Okay, or you could use it as a discussion on social media. Okay, so it summarizes the content. You could take one of those summaries and say, "This is what the summary is. What do you think about it?" So let's see how this works. Now, you don't really need to do or to make any changes to the setting. Um, but what you want to think about is this is our AI system is working in the background to summarize the content. So, machines are machines, and it mightn't get the exact key points out all of the time, but it's pretty good, I have to say. So what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to click on the word summarize, and it comes up with 9 different sentences. Okay. So I could take this one here, starting a coaching business on part-time hours can be a way to bring in additional income and help others. And I could actually just tweet that and say, if you're interested to know more about how you can start your coaching business, just follow the link to my website. Or I could start a discussion and say, do you think it is possible to start a coaching business on part-time hours? Um, and I tried to just say, what was the reason for deleting the bullets? I just deleted them because otherwise it comes up with the number and then the bullet beside. And I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little bit a little bit strange, but I just didn't like the way it looks with the bullet beside. But you don't have to delete the bullets. Okay, you can keep the bullets there. Now, I think that's pretty good. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste that into a document that I just have here off screen. And then I just want to run through a couple of the options that you have here. Okay. So the first option that you could do is you could re-summarize this and show the keyword list. Okay, so I want to show 5 of the best keywords and I summarize and it comes up the same. And it says that the keywords in this particular article are coaching business clients. Now, how could you use those keywords really effectively on social media? What do you think that you could do with those particular keywords? Because there is something that is really useful that you could do with those keywords, and I want to see what you think. But if you're thinking they could be useful for CEO, SEO, you're absolutely correct. What you could also do is you could use these as hashtags. So hashtag coaching, hashtag business, hashtag part-time. And you could actually use them, or as kind of trend, you could make 5 different posts. Okay? um, by renaming the article and talk about in this article I'm going to talk about coaching, and this is the keyword for that article, or I'm going to talk about business, etc. But I think hashtagging could be quite useful there. Now, if I go in here, I could make a couple of extra changes and say the number of lines that I want. I just want 5 lines. Okay, and I summarize, and now it will just give me the top 5 lines here. So if I have a look, um, it it does a actually here it's just actually reduced those lines. So let me just say the maximum sentence length I want is just 60 characters, and then this should reduce it here to just 60 characters. And sometimes what I need to do is I just need to just refresh the screen in order to regenerate it. It actually works a little bit better if I do that. So if I click on summarize, it comes up with um, actually, it comes up with the same content. Now that's really good because that means that the AI is seeing that these are the keywords that I want to use in my particular post, or that I should be using as tweets or just as summaries of the content. Okay. So, any questions so far? I'll just take a drink of water and then see if you have any questions. Now, what else can you do with this? Well, as I said, you can play around with the actual thresholds here. You don't need to at all. You can watch the videos that will explain sort of in more depth what exactly everything does. But I think that's pretty good. Okay, Cindy is loving this. Cindy, you better be sitting down because the next thing I'm going to show you is going to knock your socks off. Okay. Now, what you can then do is you can highlight all of these little summaries here, and you can go back to our other tool here. And I'm just going to go back to our tools. DLT strategies, yes, there is going to be a replay. So we will have that replay up very soon after the call. It will take a couple of hours just to render it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go to Auto Slide Deck. Now, what Auto Slide Deck will do is you paste in a summary of an article, which I just happen to have here. And what it will do is it will create a slide deck for each line of text. Now, there's a couple of things. I'm going to show you just a couple of things that you may want to do, and we'll experiment a little bit here. We'll play here a little bit. So I go to generate, and this is one of our top designers here. This is Marcel. Doesn't look very professional, but I tell you, he generates really good PowerPoint presentations. And of course, I have to tell you that yes, um, they are well looked after, and no monkeys, or is it a chimp, have been harmed in the process. But they work hard behind the scenes to actually create these PowerPoints for you. So you'll see that he's working hard there. Don't be fooled by this repetitive task that he does. Now, obviously, it's not a monkey that is creating your PowerPoint. Um, what what happens is that our system in the background is starting to actually generate the slide deck for you. Okay. And once it generates the slide deck, you can close this window because it actually will email you to your email account that you have on file. And you'll see mine there. So this is generating your awesome slides. And then what happens is we will soon have a little download button there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back into my account here, and we're going to go in to just have another window open so that we can see. Here it is. As soon as they do that, it says download your slide deck. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just open up that slide deck, and I just need to do one thing, which is that I need to share in another screen. So if you just give me 1 second, and I will share the screen. So I'll stop sharing now, and then I'm just going to share the screen again, and I'm just going to let me just choose this. Oh, I actually turned off my camera. Okay, so I'm just going to share screen, and I will do this window here. So now what you should see on screen is you should actually see this starting a coaching business. Okay. And let me just open this with Keynote actually. Let me just share the screen here. So I do apologize that this is just coming up like this. Okay, so this will open up in Keynote in just 1 second, and then you will see what the slide deck looks like. Okay, so now you should now see my screen there. So this is a slide deck that has been created for me randomly by our AI with the summary of our actual article that we had. Okay. Now I can obviously go in here and I can make any changes that I want. Okay. So, I mean, you could go in and you could um, set up a new slideshow. You could go and you could find um, images from the web, download them, put them into each slide, then copy and paste all of the actual text. But that is a little bit cumbersome when you can do it automatically. Okay, so what do you think of that? Okay, what so far are you loving that? Just give me a yes, give me a no, or give me a heck yes. Okay. Now, let me just share my screen again. I'm just going to go to my Chrome tab here. So let me just go back to this. Okay. So now I just saw a while coming up there. Now I'm back on the auto slide deck, but I want to just change something a little bit. Okay. I want to go into the advanced settings. Okay. And what I can do is I can say, well, the image category that I want is business, because this is a very serious business presentation that I want to do. And I can choose business. Um, I can choose the font size, so I might go for a smaller font size. I can choose from font here. I might say, I'll just say Bookman, so I'm just choosing one randomly. So forgive me if it's not a font. I can align the text, and then what I can do is I can decide what type of overlay color I want. So that's the nice little color of the image. And I change that to orange. So I think some people are liking this. Um, David says yes. Stressmaster says yes. Cindy says, can the AI rephrase the content? No, At the moment, it won't rephrase the content or it won't spin the content, etc. It will just take the content and put it in like that. Judith says, nice. Savita, great to see you again. And Savita says, yes. Okay. Now, I made a couple of changes here. And there is an important question that we do have to talk about. Where do the images come from? Well, the images come from it's public royalty-free images from sites like Unsplash or Pixabay, etc. We have it integrated into our system so that it pulls those images. So there won't be any problems with copyright infringement, etc. And this is a big thing that if you were to download images yourself from the web, you would have to ensure that you have the use of them and you have to use them for commercial purposes if you are using it for commercial purposes. So this is saving you that time again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and I'm going to generate the actual PowerPoint again. And we are in luck because today I think Marcel is on duty and Marcel is actually going to design this PowerPoint. Sometimes his colleague does it and sometimes his colleague isn't that great, but Marcel is actually pretty good at designing these PowerPoints. So again, what happens is it comes up here and you can analyze the text. Okay. Rosanna says, not really impressed. The bullet point slides are too similar. Yes, but you can go in and you can make any changes that you wish to those slides. This is excellent when you want to just create a presentation and you say, okay, I need to create this presentation. I need to create it. I don't have a lot of time. You can just do it like this. Okay. Marcel is rocking it. Well, we feed him 2 or 3 bananas a day, and he is more than happy with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up this PowerPoint again. It opens up in Keynote for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen when that comes up. Okay. So if I just share the screen, and I'm going to go into the window. And then I'll take your questions. Do put your questions in the comments there. I will take your questions shortly. Okay. So now what you can see is that we have a completely different looking PowerPoint here. Okay. So Marcela's done a great job finding those business images. And these are all business related images here. Okay. Um, nice. Okay. This one is particularly good. Okay, here's define your goals, reach your clients in different platforms. Okay, including social media, and life coaching, financial coaching, wellness for fitness coaching. Invest in yourself. Okay, so it came up and it created that. Um, Rosanna says, I like that it does the work for me, but I would get different, more varied points from the article. Okay, well, again, you can get different points from the article. Yeah, and you might say, well, look, I just want to take these 4 points, or I want to take 6 points, or I'll take a couple of points. Again, it's to show you how the tool can actually save you time. Now, a very good point that Nick has actually said, and hi Nick, great to see you here, is you could use the slides as talking points for Facebook Live. Exactly. I mean, um, what we want you to do is we want you to think, how can I use this? So I might just say, well, what I might do is I might just use this as a talking point. With a coaching business, you also have the flexibility to create your own working hours. I want to reach out to coaches that are there and tell me, what do you think about this? Because I want them to help new coaches. Now, one of the things that you should be able to do in PowerPoint is if you go to File, you should be able to export to either PDF or you should be able to export images. And what I can do, and I'm not showing that on screen at the moment, but what you can do is you could export that just as an image. Okay. Um, and that would be really easy to do. Okay. Deeper state of mind and wellness. Maybe you already said this. Are you going to all memberships or can you still buy a la carte? And I'm just wondering if you could let me know. Um, okay, so if you could just clarify that question, I'm not quite sure what the question is. Now, remember, you can go into PowerPoint and you can edit slide layout any way that you want. Okay, so you can use this as the basis, and every time you generate a new slide, it's going to be completely different. Okay, so if I go back to my screen share, I'll just go back to my Chrome tab here, and if I just go back here, I can again go into advanced settings. This time, what I want is I want more vintage pictures. I click on generate, and then we will go off with. And here he is. No, no, things are going to go haywire here because he's not having a good day. And this, of course, is Rick. And Rick is not having a good day today. But let's see if he gets inspired and let's see what he produces for us. Um, so Savita says, use your imagination. The options are doing a great job, Richard. You rock. Thank you, Savita. Please do this on Windows. This looks nothing like my PowerPoint. Bernard, we use Mac. The options on PowerPoint are exactly the same. They're similar. I mean, you're going to download the PowerPoint slide deck. You're going to open it up, and then you can edit it just as you normally edit it. So there's absolutely no problems. I mean, it's not that when it downloads, it's only for Apple Mac. It's actually for PowerPoint as well. So let's see what Rick came up with this one. Um, okay, so deeper state. I'm used to use credits to purchase. I thought I heard you say you had two memberships. Well, all of these tools that I'm showing you are for the actual paid members, so either monthly members or yearly members. You don't get this if you go pay as you go, or you don't get this if you are actually not a monthly or paid member. For example, if you are a free member. Okay, so let me just see what Rick did on this. And let's go to window, and let's go to this one here. So you'll see here that this was vintage images, lovely images. Great job done on that with these vintage images. So again, what you need to do is you need to think what or how can I use this, and how can it actually save me time and effort. Okay. Now, obviously, it can't be, everything to everyone. And you might say, well, I don't really like that. Maybe I want to change it. Can I do this? This is a very quick tool that you can use. Okay. Now, let's go back and let's have a look at the other tools. So let me just go back to PLR.me. And Cindy, it's as if you read my mind. Um, so you're talking about branding, and you mentioned the word branding, and that's the next tool I'm going to show you, and that is the PDF Brander. Now, I don't know if anybody has used PDF Brander yet, but it's a fantastic tool. Why? Because with a lot of content that you receive from us, a lot of people say to me, Richard, the content is fine. I mean, I don't want to change it because I'm just going to use it as is. I mean, I'm not going to change any of it, but I would like to put just a little copyright notice on the bottom of the actual document with a link to my site. And they say, but how do I do that? Because I don't have Adobe, I don't have um, this software, that software. Well, we've got you covered. Okay. So the PDF Brander will take either one or as many PDFs as you want and brand them with a footer piece of text or a header piece of text. Now, the first thing I always say to people is look at the document that you want branded and see if there's any images or any borders or colors at the top of the document and at the bottom so that you know where you're actually going to brand and how you're going to brand the item. So I have one off screen which I'm going to show you how to do. The quickest thing that I'm going to show you how to do is how to actually put some text in, and let's go branding. Okay, so let's go branding. Let's just use that because I see David has said that. Now I can put in my website here. I say PLR.me. I can choose the font size. At the moment, I'm just going to put this center bottom, and I'm just going to click and drag. I have it off screen. I'm going to click and drag the file from the screen here onto where it just says select files. Okay. And what that does is, oh, there it is. Before I can even say it, it's branded that. Now, if I click on this document, what we should see is, if it just allows me to share my screen, let me just go back to the sharing here because it seems me not to want to share it. I'm going to go to window and here. And what it does is it takes this article, it does nothing else, and it puts in a link. Now, when I click on it, will actually go off to the website that I mentioned. So this is vitally important because I was consulting with a client and she had a great freebie that she gave away. I downloaded it and she had no branding on it. So the problem is that if this is a really good article and a very shareable article, it could get emailed, it could get shared on social media by hundreds of people, but then they don't know how to contact you. So at least if you have, as a minimum, the branding here, then they can click through to your website. So always make sure that even with paid products that you sell, make sure that you have them branded so that people can go back to your website and find out who you are and what you offer. Okay. Now, what you have to be careful of is if I were to do this up at the top of the document, I have to make sure that it will look all right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's say I put this at top center. Okay, now I'm going to rebrand this document. I just take the same document, I drop it down here, and I always get this one wrong. I'm going to click on this first one. I know I got it right. And there's the Let's Go branding up at the top there that I can just click on. Okay. So any questions on that before I show you the next piece of magic? And when I do pause for a question time. I also do pause for just getting a quick drink of water. Okay. So there's more that you can do with this. Now, you can actually put your logo here if you want. And let me just see if I can pull up a logo for you so that you can see how this works. And this one can be quite peculiar here because there's a couple of things that you need to do. Uh, so let me just see. Can we take any unbranded through this topic? Yeah. This is the wonderful thing, Cindy, that it's not locked to our software. I mean, you don't have to just use our software. You can use, our PDF. You can use any PDF here to actually brand. So there's absolutely no problems with that. I mean, if you decide, you can say, "Oh, I have a lot of PDFs that I want to brand," and you can from another source, and you can use it. There's absolutely no problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop a logo here. Okay, let me just see if I can do this. Okay, choose file. You won't be able to see it. It'll be just off screen here. And I'm going to choose a logo that I have. And now what you're going to see, or what for some reason it's not showing, is it says warning, the size of the logo you uploaded is too big. It may overlay the entire image. Please use a smaller size. So so what you need to be able to do is you must have the image at 150 by 150 max. Okay. So let me just show you what's going to happen with um let me just show you what's going to happen with this particular logo that I've used. And if I just go in here and I select the file, it comes up here. And the logo I've used is too big. So all you see is the actual logo here. Now, there is something that you can do. You can go in here, and this is a JPG resize. Okay, you can go into a website here, and I've just gone in randomly, and I'll choose this one here, resizeimage.net. And you can upload an image here. And then what you can actually do is you can actually resize the image. Okay. So that's the original image. And what I want to do is I want to actually resize that. So I'm just going to click on upload image. Again, you won't actually see it here. And I'm just going to load up an image. And I said to you that the image has to be 150 by 150. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to change. Let me see. I want to crop. No, here what I want to do is I want this normal and I want to put this 150 by 150. Okay. And that, oh, sorry, that's the selection area. That's not what I want to do. So what I want to do is I just want to go fixed aspect ratio. And since resize your image. There it is. Okay. So I want to do 150. It's 150 by 162. Let's just keep that as it is. And I go down here and I say resize image, and that will actually resize it. So I haven't used this before. Okay. So not only has it resized, but it is making it smaller as well. Now I'll get to all your questions just in a second. Okay. There's the image. I'm just going to save that image so that I can save it on my computer. So I'm going to save this as 150. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the PDF browser. I'm actually going to choose that logo again. But this time what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the 150 image. And what should happen is when I go to rebrand that document, we should see that up at the center top, my logo is there. Now, this is what I mentioned earlier. Be careful because that's still too big. So I would want to probably resize that to maybe 75 by 75. And given the way this document is, I might want to put it down at the bottom here. Okay, because that I mean I like it. I love that graphic that we did, but it's obviously just covering all the text. Now, this is why you always need to test as well, because imagine you uploaded 100 PDFs and they all came out like that. So test one document. Okay, let me just pause there and see any questions. Um, Cindy says, "Be still, my heart." Well, Cindy, please relax. Okay, you can do so much here. Okay, Kathy, I have a question about the PLR brander. I couldn't get it to work correctly for me. I wanted to send you and raise about 1 inch from the bottom of the image. Okay, so Savita, that is a trade secret. How did I get that image? Let me just go to the question that Kathy has. So it can take some practice until you get the settings right. Okay, you wanted to center it and raise about 1 inch from the bottom. Okay, so what you could do is you could do padding from the top bottom there, and you could increase the padding, and that should work. So if I just let me just show you there. If I just increase this to 50, a ridiculous amount, I can then bring that image over, and that should push it down. Now you wanted it. Where did you want it? Let me just put it at the bottom left. Okay, left bottom. This time just to show you that it's different. Let me select an item. And here we go. Let's have a look. So this now goes to the bottom here. Again, the image is too big, but see with the padding has actually brought that up by whatever I had. I think I said 50, 50 pixels of padding here. So you see how high it's gone from the bottom. So that might help, but you will need to play around with that. Okay. You'll need to go in and you'll need to check these little items just to make sure. Okay, any other questions here on the PDF Brander before I show you the next thing you can do with it? So still, I'm going to throw in an extra bonus tool that I'm going to show you that is really good. Now remember, all of these tools come for either monthly or yearly members. And you know something? I haven't actually mentioned, but if you want to talk about the memberships, if you're not sure which one is best for you, if you haven't got a call with me already, you can actually just book a call now. At time of recording, we are in what is it, the 2nd of December. So things are going to start to slow down a little bit for me. I'm away next week. I do like to take some family time off during Christmas, so I won't be taking calls over Christmas. But I'm here for about a week and a half in December with my schedule open for calls. So you could book a call and we can discuss your needs. I can also create a content plan. If you have already done a call with me, unfortunately, this is not available. If you want to book a call, it's just plr.me /book a call. and that is for paid or for um, free members, as long as you haven't booked a call with me already. If you are ready to go and you say, okay, I have seen enough, I don't need anything else, you can actually go to PLR.me pricing. And there, if you go to PLR.me pricing, you will actually see our pricing page. And this will run you through all of the actual, well, it'll tell you how many items. We're nearly hitting 16,000 items. It will show you different examples of what you can do with the actual content, and it will show you how much you're actually going to save. Okay, so that's PLR.me pricing, or you can actually just book a call in with me, and I can run through everything with you to help you make a decision on what is the best package for you and your needs. Okay, now let me just check the chat, see who has said. Um, Hi KE, we did actually have a cyber week sale. It finished yesterday. We ran it for one whole week actually before uh, Black Friday. I mean, from actually the Friday before Black Friday till Monday. Reach out to us, see if we can do anything for you. Okay, Savita, need a one-time payment plan. Savita, reach out to me. Um, let's have a quick chat. You have my email. Reach out to me, and we'll see what we can do. Okay. Um, Now, here's a really interesting thing. And unfortunately, when you brand a PDF like this, there are people out there that might try and just take a screen grab of your document and cut out your Let's Go branding. Okay. And then basically, they're going to be using your content without your little URL here in the footer. So we have a way to stop people doing that. So if you have a look here, we have watermark. Now, what watermark will do is put in a watermark text, copyright Richard Butler, PLR.me. And then what I can do, okay, so make sure that you're sitting down. Cindy, make sure that you're sitting down. Um, Everybody, make sure that you're sitting down because you will love this. Okay. Now, when I go in here and open up this PDF, what comes up at the back? Copyright Richard PLR.me. So you could give away the first free chapter of your ebook, and you could put this in sample only or draft only. What if you want to get somebody to read your PDF? You could actually say to them, will you read my PDF? And you put draft only, not for resale, so that they can't actually go off and sell it, or in case it escapes into the wild, that somebody can't go off and actually sell it. So what do you think of that part of the tool? I think that's pretty fab. Actually, I really like that my image is in the center there, although it does actually cut out the text. So remember, when you do this, you may need to refresh because you will see that it actually still remembers the actual icon that I have. So it puts it in there. Okay. Um, Barbara, how do you publish privately on WordPress? Unfortunately, we can't actually give any instructions about WordPress because it's not a tool that we support. But if you do a Google for publishing privately on WordPress, you should be able to find a little tutorial on that. Um, it should be easy. So remember, we fully support, and we give all the support for the tools that we have here and for the actual content that we have. But when it comes to third parties, we can't actually support them because we don't know how you're using WordPress, what your hosting is. There's lots of other things there. Roshana, I'm on the annual plan, but it's showing that I have to join. If you can reach out, that's a specific question. If you can reach out to our support, we will help you there and we will have a look. Just make sure, just double check your email, just in case what can happen. A lot of people will sign up with one email as a free account and they'll purchase as a paid member with another email account. So just check that's happened a couple of times. I've seen that's happened to clients. Cindy says, wow. Okay. Um, Thank you, Cindy. Janet says, I have several items on a topic. Can I amalgamate the summaries for making slides? Absolutely. So what you could do is if you went to the slide deck, or sorry, to the content summarizer, you could summarize the content, and then you could copy and paste that into a Word document, for example, and then you could summarize the next article and do exactly the same thing, copy and paste it into the Word document, summarize the next item, and then copy and paste everything then that you have into the actual slide or the slide deck. So Lisa, I love your expression. Shut the front door. That was so cool. I thought you had said, shut the front door. That was so cold. I was like, no, actually, the front door is definitely closed. Yeah, see, there's a lot of tools, and this is why we wanted to do the questions and answers, because there's lots of tools that people don't even realize that they have access to. Um, are any of the designs Canva friendly? Alignment coach, it is an excellent question about Canva. And I say it's an excellent question. Let me just stop the screen share because Canva recently made a lot of our dreams come true in that they have started to roll out. It's in beta at the moment, so it mightn't be perfect, but they've actually started to roll out a facility that will allow you to actually edit a PDF using Canva. And we actually talked about that in one of our questions and answers, I believe it was, or in our open office of how you can actually do that. But it's super simple. You log into Canva, you go to new design, and then there's an upload PDF, and then you can actually upload one of our PDFs and work on the design from there. Okay, so thank you, Connect Trend. He's just said that Barbara, there's a plugin that takes off every menu and keeps search engines from indexing it. Don't remember the name, but you'll find it. Okay, so thank you very much for that. Cindy says, does the watermark go on just when print? No, I mean the PDF is the PDF. So what you see is what you get. If it's on screen, it comes up. If it's on printed out, it also comes up as well. Okay, so it's a really cool little tool. Kathy says, I'm going to have to watch replay. Thank you for doing this training, Kathy. It is something we're going to do. I'm just about to say every week. We'll definitely have one more in December. As I said, I'm away in the Isle of Leprechauns next week. So this time next week, I will be having a nice pot of Irish stew cooked by my auntie Roisin Murphy. No, that's actually not true. Maybe I will be having Irish stew, but not by Auntie Roisin Murphy. I don't think that who she is. But we'll be definitely having a training on the 16th, and I would say we'll have one on the 23rd. And depending how things go, we might have one on the 30th. But I'll have to see what the family say. I.e., I have to see if my wife will let me. Ronnie will probably say, "Go ahead and do the training," but my wife might say, "Hey, you're not doing the training, so I have to let the wife decide there." Um, okay. Roshana, okay, you've sorted your problem. KE, glad I saw this notification pop up. Great overview. Excellent. Um, yes, shut the door, Savita. I think I don't know if you were on I think it was on the open office that we did it. That you can go into Canva and you can actually, from Canva, how about I actually just show you that now? What do you think? Sounds like a good idea. Um, so let me just go into Canva here. And what you can do is you can go into custom design. Sorry, you can go into create a design, import PDF. Okay, you won't see my screen here because it's just off screen. And then you find a PDF. Let me see. Let me just find this one here. Okay. I find a PDF. I open it. And this is in beta version, so that just means that there might be glitches, okay? Not everything might work perfectly. And this is uploaded, and now you see it comes up perfect, okay? Exactly the way you want it. And what you can just do is I could actually remove that image there. Canva puts in a little image at the back. I will go to elements. and I'll go to backgrounds. Let me see. What do I use? I'll just find I'll find a background here. Let's see, recently I'll use this one. This is free. So I could just take this, I could bring it up here, and then I could just bring that out and see if I can just bring it up like that. Okay, my graphic design skills are not very good, as you can see, and that now is completely different. I could go in here, I could change the color palette here to blue, maybe, and then you see that comes up like that. Okay. Um, let's have a look. Okay, Cindy has said loving this training. Savita, this is epic. Yes, it is. Savita, Irish stew sounds tasty. Yeah, it's really good. And if you get a good Irish stew in a nice Irish pub with a nice fire on a cold evening, lovely. You can't get better. Um, thank you so much, uh, Connectron. We need to know your name so I can call you by your name. And yes, it was a recent Q&A that we actually did, and we showed you how to do that. Melanie says, yes, I've used Canva for working on PDFs. It's great. I've used it on some of our complex PDFs from the library, and it works without a hitch. It's really, really good. We have, let me just check your name here. Okay. Yeah, check your name again. Ellie, we have Ellie here who says, yeah, I saw this in the previous trends and I actually did it. It's really good. It's super simple to use. Yeah, everybody is saying that I tried Canva edit PDF a few weeks ago. Still buggy, but looking good. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're improving it every single week. So while it might be buggy today, tomorrow it might be better. Um, David says good stuff. Okay, excellent stuff, guys. Okay, so what we've done is, oh, I never said, if you are enjoying this video, like it, share it, subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss our next questions and answers. Because just in case you don't see the email, YouTube will actually notify you when you are actually on, or when our next questions and answers is actually scheduled. So, and if you're on Facebook, make sure that you actually like the post as well and comment. And I will come back tomorrow to actually check any questions that may be there as well. Um, Make sure that you book in a call with me if you want to discuss your needs. You want a content plan. As long as you haven't booked in a call before, you are free to book in a call. My time is limited, so if you book in a call, do make sure that you actually turn up, and they are Zoom calls. Okay. Make sure that you hit that little notification bell that's also on the YouTube channel, so that you do get notified, because without that, you won't get notified. And of course, make sure that you watch all the other videos that we have, because we have lots more videos. Now, we have about 3 minutes left. I'm going to show you something really cool. And this is under our productivity tools. Actually, here's a really cool one. This is like a Back to the Future type of thing. We actually have a virtual fax machine. And if you wanted, you could actually send a fax by uploading a document here. Okay, I'm putting in the fax number, and you could send fax. So if you do have a fax at home, do try this out. It is great. And believe it or not, people still use this. We've seen people still using our virtual fax. But okay, Savita, like to subscribe. Excellent. Um, Cindy, show us some love. BFCM extended by a wee bit. How do you book a call? Melanie or Cindy, you can book a call here with PLR.me /book a call. Okay, you can go in there. Now, speaking of calls, imagine you're on a coaching call and the client says, Richard, I want to work with you. Can I pay you now via PayPal? And you go, yeah, let me just set that up. You say to the client, look, what I can do is if you pay now, it's normally $600 an hour, or $600 for 2 hours. But what I'll do is, if you can book now, I'll do it for 500. But the problem is, you don't have that set up on your website, you PayPal button, etc. What would you do in that case? Okay, it's really well, it was really difficult. But if you are an actual paid member, monthly or yearly, we have a tool for you called the PayPal link generator. Okay, so you guys are gonna, I mean, you're gonna love this when you see it. Okay, I guarantee you're gonna love this. Um, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in a PayPal address. I'm just going to put in richard@richard.com. Okay. Um, I'm going to say what country this is in. I'm going to say what amount this is. So this is 500. Let's just do this a little bit differently and let's go for Spain. Okay. So I'm on a call. I have a client. They want to pay me now. Okay. Um, I want to take the payment, but unfortunately, I don't have a PayPal button. I didn't think I was going to make the sale. I thought I'd have time to send them an invoice later. What do I do? Okay, I put in the item, coaching special here, item ID 123. We'll just leave it at that. A thank you page when they actually subscribe. I'll just say that they go to PLR.me. If I had a page where they cancel, it would go there. I don't need to do anything else. I generate a PayPal link. So what I do on the call is I copy this. I say, yeah, of course I can take payment straight away. And I just go control and I send them the link in chat. They go here. Things don't appear to be working at the moment. Please try again. Okay, so PayPal happens to decide that it doesn't want to work today, which is wonderful. Thank you, PayPal. But what would happen here is, let me just copy this again just in case. What would happen is they would actually see a PayPal link. Let me just try that in another browser because sometimes it can be the browser or it can be a number of things. Oh, okay. So I don't know whether PayPal is offline. The other thing is that no, they're not offline. The other thing is that they may have actually they may be just having problems with those particular links. But what would happen is that you would actually there we go. This may work, please. No. Okay, so I just need to check that just to see if that's on PayPal end or if it's on our end because it was actually working. It was working earlier. So what this will do is this will generate a link that people can actually then use to pay you immediately. Okay. Um, Connection says try an incognito window. Well, I'll try that, but I did try it just on another browser, um, and it didn't seem to work. But no, it's just there's a problem. So I'll check. I'll check that. But keep an eye on that. But in essence, what that does is it will create the PayPal link for you. Just when you thought it was over, Savita, I always have just one more thing like Columbo, if you remember Columbo. I always just have one more thing. Okay, so I don't want to share all of the tools today because we're just at the top of the hour. What I will do in our next call is I will actually talk to you about the other tools, and specifically we have some WordPress tools as well. Okay, that we can talk about. So um, the next questions and answers that we do will be talking about the other tools because there's some really good tools left to see. Now I'm going to take a drink of water, and I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds just to see if there are any questions. No, I've just been told actually that if you if you go to the chat on PLR.me, if you have any questions about the Cyber Monday sale, etc., I can't make any guarantees. But if you go over there and ask about that, we'll see whether we can actually extend that or not. Okay, so that might be something that we might be able to do. Okay, so I'll just give it another 2 minutes just to see if there are any questions, if anybody has a question, if they'd like to ask a question, if you have any comments, any thoughts, etc. Okay, so Chantal says PayPal link is working. Um, Excellent. Okay, so let me just try that again. Um, Let me just see if that. Okay, so maybe it's just something. Okay. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to try one thing because do you know what may be happening? It may be that for some reason, can only do it through dollars. So let me just go back and I'm just going to share my screen because if I can show you this, it is quite cool. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my tools. I'm going to go back over here to PayPal link generator. I'm going to just type in my 2000 here. Okay, I'll leave it at 500 US dollars. I'll just put anything in there, generate your link. And that's cool. Okay, so there's something on my end because it's working for Chantal. So just try that and let me know. Okay. And okay, so we'll wrap it up there, guys. Savita, I will reach out to you. Chantal, thank you for that. Cindy, thank you. Thank you to all, if I may say, all my regulars who join me. Make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, make sure that you share this training if you love it. Make sure that you click on the bell. Make sure that you do all those things that you're meant to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, etc. And I will see you in 2 weeks. All right, because I'll be enjoying my Irish stew. And if you follow me on Instagram, if you can find me, you will see pictures of what I'm eating. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening. And